Welcome to yet another video on pronunciation in Dutch. Some of you might by now wonder when we write a vowel twice or a consonant twice. Hopefully by the end of this video we'll get to reply to this answer, as I will be guiding you through the theory of long and short vowels. So the first part of this video will be guiding you through the pronunciation of long and short vowels. Then there will be an explanation of the rule itself, and this will be done based on three situations. Then by the end of the video, we will also include a small test to see if you got the hang of things and understand the theory behind the spelling rule. So the purpose of this rule itself is to be able to spell your words correctly, but also to know when we pronounce a certain sound long or shortly.
So as a start, we will just go through the pronunciation of the short and the long vowels. So here we can see the A, which could be seen in the word bus, for example. The long pronunciation would be A. So for example, bas, bos, bas. The second vowel is the E. We also have the long pronunciation E. So here we can have E and E. Next on we have O. So for example, op, and the long pronunciation would be O, Om, for example. So op and Om. Then we have the hut, for example. We also have U, Uur, hut and Uur, for example. Further on, we also have the E sound, which would be ik, for example, which means I in Dutch. And we also have the I sound. The thing is, as you will notice from my previous video on vowel combinations, the E sound can also be written as IE. So it also comes down to the studying of words and keeping a vocabulary list on how to correctly spell these words.
So this brings us to the explanation of the rule itself. I will explain this based on three categories of words. So we will have three situations. One is a closed syllable. Second situation is when we hear more than one consonant. And the third situation will be in case of open syllables.
In our first situation, the situation of closed syllables, meaning there is nothing following the word we see in front of us, we would have to focus on how many times we route the vowel itself. So we can create a short sound or a long sound by either writing the vowel one time or two times. In this case, we see the M and the N. We would have man, which would mean man, or maan, which would mean moon. So it is very important to focus on each particular meaning of the word, as miswriting the word would create a whole different meaning. In our second situation, we can see that there is more than one consonant following. So we see the M, the T, and the R. This is a composed word coming from one word stoom and on the other one train. This word is combined, so we can see that there is more than one consonant. In this case, we are also just going to check if it's a long or a short sound. And based on this, we are going to decide to write our vowel once or twice. So in case of a short pronunciation, we would have stomtrain, which doesn't make any sense, but it's just a word used for the purpose of explaining this example. Or when we write it double, stoomtrain, which would mean steam train. So it's also very important here to check how many vowels we need to write based on if it's a long or a short vowel. In our third and last situation, we will have open syllables. So what do I mean by this? We will be able to split our words in different parts, and we can only recognize one consonant. So in this case, for example, we can have manen or mannen, depending on a long and short pronunciation of the word, of the vowel. And we will see that in this case, we can split the word to ma-nun or ma-nun. This is what I mean by open syllable. So in this case, we are not going to check if we have to write the vowels one time or double. We will have to check if we write a consonant one time or double. So here the logic is opposite. When we want to create a long sound, manen, for example, we are only going to write the consonant once. Manen, one N. Mannen, which would be the short pronunciation, we will write the consonant twice. Mannen. So also here it's very important to focus on this rule, especially in the beginning, as both words exist. Manen would be the plural of moon. Mannen, on the other hand, would be the plural of man or men in English. So to avoid confusion, it's always very important to think about this rule. And of course, when you get the hang of it, this rule will feel like second nature. Just as an extra information, we can also wonder what do we do in case we have a vowel combination. Well, when we have a vowel combination like A, O, E, as we discussed in a previous video, we just stick to the combination itself. There is no need to alter anything to the word. So in case we have, for example, the word train or trainen, we don't need to think of writing something double or thinking if we have to add a consonant or not. We just follow the vowel combination as is, and that's it.
Just to sum up, the most easiest thing to do is to check if we have an open syllable or a closed syllable, and to also check how many consonants we hear. So in case of closed syllables and more than one consonant, we just check how many vowels we write. When we have an open syllable and we only hear one consonant, we will check how many times we'll write a consonant. And that's just it.
This brings us to the end of the video. So here you can find 10 words where you can try to check if you understood the rules that we discussed. So try to indicate and think if the following words should have a long or short pronunciation. Try to write them down. By the end of next video, we will be able to discuss the correct answers. So also be free to check out the next video where you will be able to see if you understood everything correctly or not. I really appreciate you watching and I'll be glad to see you in the next video.